Hello.
Hi, Pam.
Hi. It's been such a joy to listen to your podcasts. And Kavi, I love your questions. They're so clarifying. I appreciate them every day. And I feel, I guess I just wanted to ask if I, I'm not sure how to form the question. I feel as if I'm falling open in a way that is fine, and I'm happy to go into the unknown. And what I'm noticing is that there is a lot of pain with a lot of memories that are coming up that are very old. And I thought when you were talking earlier about the inability that we have as children to not get stuck in a particular story, and the concretizing of kind of what happens in that, it feels very dense. And so I guess I'm asking if this is kind of normal and expected, and if there's anything in particular that do we just bring that kind of density and that intensity of feeling, that very old, kind of old stuckness to the ocean and allow it to dissolve kind of in the way that you're describing? I, I, I don't know if I'm being clear, but
Mm.
the allowing that I allow myself now with flowing with feeling is different from what I'm recognizing I had as a child.
Yes,
So it feels different.
yes,
It feels different.
yes, yes. Whatever, if you like, needs to emerge as you, let's call it fall open, yeah, will just reveal itself. You don't have to bring it into anything. You don't have to, yeah, you simply, if it's here, it's here. If there's an old memory, if there's yeah, and that memory will have layers in it, energetic layers, yeah, which might be, well, usually with children, something that's happened in childhood, it it makes us feel powerless because we were powerless as children. Yeah, we're dependent on our parents,
Yeah.
whether it's an emotional dependence or a physical dependence or whatever it might be. We are dependent on our parents, um, or our caretakers, or yeah. So there is a powerlessness or helplessness, vulnerability in childhood with whatever experience it was, whether it was physical or mental or emotional or all three. And that's what gets usually repressed or suppressed because at the time it's too much to bear because there's no real way out of that. Yeah. And so, yeah, that creates what we call trauma or some kind of splitting off of the child from the rest of us. Yeah, it gets compartmentalized. And in some ways, quite rightly so. It's a form of protection. Yeah. Um, but as we mature, become adults, and are not dependent on our parents anymore, or we're not dependent on anyone else, unless we choose to be, um, then that which has been tucked away, yeah, can either remain tucked away, and that creates all sorts of inner schisms, or it starts to emerge, as it is in your case, and as it does if hopefully if we are on a spiritual, truly spiritual path of unconditionality, then it will emerge. There's nothing really you need to do, but simply allow its texture without pushing it away again. And the layers will just undo themselves. Yeah. The fear of that emerging or revealing itself, if there is fear, is what keeps it pushed away again, and that perpetuates the schism. That's why, that there's so much attention and talk and so on about of trauma these days, and quite rightly so, but often uh, overdone, I would say, in the sense that uh, uh, trauma is really not what happened. It's the belief that I can't handle the memory or the feeling of what happened, which is ultimately powerlessness. And as adults, and when I say adults, I actually mean adults rooted in the ocean of beingness, adults with awareness, we do have that capacity. It's not going to kill us. And to stand, if you like, or to remain as that oceanicness, which is ultimately in you, as you, yeah, to remain as that whilst old feelings of powerlessness or helplessness or whatever it might have been come up. That in itself is the healing. Because that brings us into deep presence and deep acceptance, not of the story, not of what happened, but actually what's here now. And that gradually undoes trauma or pain and so on.
Thank you.